Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Ajoe21love. Back at here with Sports OU Topics, episode number 75. Week 11 of the NFL season was a good one. Also, as far as picks are concerned, did much better, 12-3. So, good week for picks. Some good games, some lackluster scores, but still fun to watch as we gear towards the home stretch, the Thanksgiving and so on stretch of the NFL season. But thank you for joining me. If you're new to the podcast and if you want to see more of the sports overview topics, videos, as well as my pro wrestling reviews, you can find those on the homepage if you click subscribe. But thank you. Join me and also get through my picks for week 12. But week 11 start off in strange fashion. A shutout, if you can believe it. Patriots traveled to Atlanta to play the Atlanta Falcons. And their defense feasted on the Falcons 25-0. The Falcons, besides two drives on offense, could really not get anything going against the pass rush of the Patriots. Matt Ryan was pretty much getting ravaged throughout the night. Patriots offense, though, they shot themselves in the foot a few times, couldn't really cap off drives. That's why score, it was 13-0, kind of slow, and then all of a sudden Patriots picked up and picked up. That's why the score, it could have been more, but obviously Patriots cover, Patriots win, get their fifth in a row after starting 2-4. Now they're 7-4, looking gear, and now in first place of the AFC East. Speaking of which, I'll get to the Bills in a bit. But as far as the Falcons, their defense kind of helped them, but their offense just was lackluster. I mean, when you don't have a very good running back or a good running game in general, you don't have Calvin Ridley, you don't have Corell Patterson, who, you know, is shifty and a Swiss Army knife with the stuff he can do in the backfield and in the passing game. It's made it one-dimensional to only guard Kyle Pitts and just didn't flow well. So then get to Sunday. Start off with the Eagles in Philly. They beat the Saints 40-29. The run game of the Eagles is really picking up, I would say, besides one fumble by Miles Sanders inside the 5, or their own 5, which capped off the first touchdown for the Saints. It really is growing. Now they're 5-6, and with all the inconsistency in the NFC, that 17 is definitely a possibility for these Eagles. When it looked sad to begin with, now they're aiming in the right direction. Over 200 yards on the ground. You know, the Saints, they were obviously handicapped really with, still without James Winston, no Alvin Kamara, or without your top two tackles and Armstead and Ramczyk. So that obviously hurt. They're obviously without Michael Thomas for the rest of the season. But they did what they could to make a game late. It just they just couldn't really find their groove and find their rhythm and kept playing from behind. And this Saints team is not equipped to play from behind, really. They still have good defense, but I mean, 3 straight losses. It's not looking pretty in New Orleans. And then the Dolphins, who were on a big losing streak, are now equipped to a 3-game winning streak. After beating the Texans, walloping the Ravens, and they beat the Jets here in what was one of the more intriguing games of the day and one of the closer games of the day. 24-17 over Jets. Joe Flacco, he did well coming in for his season debut this year. Elijah Moore doing well. Unfortunately, Michael Carter, their young running back, suffered an injury. He'll be out for some time, but good for Tua and good for the Dolphins, who are making some noise. I mean, with the extra game, you don't really know how much until you're out of it. And with these wins, the Dolphins are definitely creeping. And then Cam Newton, in his return to Carolina, Cam Newton faced his former longtime coach, Ron Rivera, Washington versus Carolina. But this time the coach beat the student, or the teacher beat the student, really, whichever you want to say. But Washington triumphed here 27-21. Cam did good, um, only being back in Carolina for a few weeks. And he did well with the reins. Taylor Heinicke had a heck of a game. And their defense, despite no Chase Young, despite no Montez Sweat, they really held tight versus Panthers late and won 27-21. They're also not out of it, and they can make some noise as we get into this home stretch of the season. Speaking of noise, I'm not sure anybody made as much noise as the Indianapolis Colts did in Buffalo, trouncing the Bills 41 to 15. 41 to 15. Jonathan Taylor, he really shined on this day. 5 touchdowns for the second-year man out of Wisconsin. This is the formula, and this is working. 6-5 now are the Colts. Carson Wentz, he's not having to do a lot, but he's clean football, not turning the ball over, doing what he must. They're right through the run game. And they have a good defense. Holding the Bills to 15 points. They are now. They have the Bucs next Sunday, and that is a very crucial game for both teams. So it's really going to be a testament, but a statement for the Colts. The Bills, the last few weeks, if you take out the Jets game, they have really stuttered on offense. Really, the last month of the season. And, they only ran the ball, say, 11 times. Look, Josh Allen, we know, is very good. And he had an MVP caliber season last year. And I get it if you're Brian Dable, and if you have this great toy and you want to be able to flash it and want to really, you can say, bombs away with the offense. You want to be a high-flying offense. But you have three running backs for a reason. Zach Moss, Devin Singletary, and Matt Breida. You need to balance the offense. It's why when I looked at the Sunday night game for the Chargers, I was shaking my head a little bit more. We see this with the Chargers. I'll credit the Steelers' defense was banged up, but still, this is a formula. I know you're paying Josh Allen all this money, but you can't all put it on one plate. You need to shift around, and because they're reeling. They're now second place in the AFCs behind the Patriots. And they still have to play the Patriots twice, and it's not going to be pretty unless they figure it out soon. And then what wasn't pretty as well, the Browns beat the Lions 13-10. This was a strange game, you can definitely see. But Nick Chubb had a hell of a day. But Baker Mayfield, we can tell, is not 100%. He has that torn labrum in his shoulder. He has that knee condition that suffered last week. I mean, they did enough, but I mean, and it's hard for Browns because if Baker was paid in the offseason, I think we wouldn't be seeing Baker as much with these injuries as we have this season. But he's still fighting for that extension, and credit to his intentional fortitude and his awareness to fight through all this pain, but he's not playing good right now. And whether you want to call him out for it, him just being him, or he's not healthy. So, pretty much say, although glad for the Lions, they're still fighting. Tim Boyle didn't do much to help, although we'll see who they start on Thanksgiving. We'll definitely see. And then 49ers definitely have their groove back. They definitely have their groove. In a game they had to have, they beat the Jags in Jacksonville 30-10. You know, they found their formula again, and they're doing what they need to do. Back to 500, 5-5. Up ahead next week with a game which could decide a playoff spot in the NFC. Vikings and 49ers next week. Gonna be an interesting one, but 49ers got going. And then what was the stunner of the day? The Tennessee Titans, who had a 6-game win streak and they're still 7-0 versus teams that made the playoffs last year. But they looked off here first. Their division foe Texans, they lose 22-13. You know, still without Julio, he's on IR. AJ Brown, who's a big vocal point of the offense, he went out during the game. You know, it did feel like, because it was 19-0, and then Titans fired back with 2 touchdowns, but they just fell off. And I mean, I get it, you know, Tannehill needs to be better, can't throw 4 picks, but without Julio and without AJ Brown, it's difficult um, to be thrown to your depth of your offense. So, but we'll see how the Titans rebound in another crucial game next week versus the Patriots. So we'll see. And then what was probably the game of the day, Vikings beat the Packers last second as every game pretty much has gone this season for the Vikings. They win 34-31, staying the course of their season. Aaron Rodgers, he had that toe injury, but still looked very well. Now, he looked like he had an injection in his toe, probably, or something at halftime, but nonetheless, still played on his game. Kirk Cousins had a solid game. Same with Justin Jefferson, almost 200 yards receiving. Did what he needed to, and like I said with the Niners, they found their groove, and that crucial game next week, Vikings and 49ers. No Lamar Jackson, no problem for the Ravens. They win 16-13 in Chicago. Now, again, another slow game, but picked it up towards the end. Huntley did what he needed to on a few drives. They had 9 points, and then, well, it was 6-0, and then Justin Fields, he got hurt, who went out, and then Andy Dalton throws a screen pass touchdown to Darnell Mooney, and then just like that, they're ahead by 1. And then great throw by Dalton, 4th and 11, less than 2 minutes left. Throws long ball to a wide open Marquise Goodwin. And then just like that, it's 13-9. Less than 2 minutes left, but Huntley throws a long ball to Sammy Watkins down the field. Lines up for a touchdown run by Devontae Freeman, and they escape with Chicago with a win without Lamar Jackson. Then another intriguing game of the day going in was the 5-4 Bengals going to Vegas to play the 5-4 Raiders. Both teams on losing streaks. Both teams need a rebound. The Bengals pulled away, won 32-13. Joe Mixon had a heck of a day, over 100 yards rushing or receiving, I need to say. Again, it just feels like for the Raiders, John Gruden thing, Henry Ruggs thing, Damon Arnett thing, only 13 points. Just strange. But the Bengals need to get this up to stay alive in the playoff picture, and it wasn't a spectacular day from Joe Burrow, but did what they needed to do. And no Kyler again, no problem for the Cardinals. 23-13. They beat Russell Wilson in his second start back from his finger injury. Still doesn't look healthy, so not the same. But hats off to the Cardinals. Again, without Kyler Murray, without DeAndre Hopkins, Zach Ertz had a heck of a game, 2 touchdowns. Chandler Jones had 2.5 sacks. Heck of a day, and good for Colt McCoy, veteran, and did what he needed to, still steered the ship for the Cardinals. They have the best record now in the NFL at 9-2. And then, what I'm sure many expected to be the game of the day, the Vikings-Packers score. I'm sure is what they thought was going to be this game. No, 19-9. Chiefs beat the Cowboys. I mean, the Cowboys defense tightened up in the second half, only holding the Chiefs to 3 points, but the Chiefs defense, you know, many people, I see many comments on social media, and I'd say, they were 3-4, and many, including me, were harping on them saying they weren't good. That's because they weren't. They weren't playing good. Being 3-4. I mean, it's just mind-boggling how some people are. You know, it's like, oh, people are harping, saying this seems on. Well, they were playing bad. What do you want to say? When you're not playing good, it's just not. It's hard to believe in a team. But their defense has really tightened up as of late. Their offense, I still have questions about. Again, only 3 points in the second half. Cowboys, this is the second stunner in few weeks. They looked indecisive against the Broncos. Now, of course, when Dak Prescott was coming off his injury, his calf injury, and then here they don't even get a touchdown against Chiefs. Now, hmm. Now, they did not have Amari Cooper. He was on the COVID list. He tested positive, so his status for Thanksgiving will be up in the air. And CeeDee Lamb, he suffered a concussion right before halftime, so it's going to be hard for both of them to be appearing for Thanksgiving. But yeah, good for Chiefs defense, good for Chiefs. Their fourth straight win. And then what was a thriller on Sunday Night Football? And more particularly late, but you know, Steelers were crippled. No TJ Watt, no Minka Fitzpatrick, no Joe Hayden. So how would their defense fare versus the Chargers? They're all Big Ben was able to come back and yeah, heck of a game in his own right. But you know, it was 27-13 entering the fourth quarter, and then just like that, a snow globe, everything start to fall. Blocked punt by the Steelers gave them the ball inside the 5, and they almost messed it up, but thankfully a pass interference call gave them new life. Najee Harris gets touchdown, just like that, 27-20. But big run by Herbert sets up another touchdown for Eckler, and then it's 34-20, and you're like, okay, well, they had their chance, but okay. And then, but Steelers fight back with a good drive. You know, 2 big conversions to Ebron and Deontay Johnson. Then a touchdown by Ebron, and just like that, it's 27-34. And then a big tip pass off the helmet of Cameron Hayward in the arms of Cameron Sutton, and just like that, Steelers are back in the game once again, and screen pass to Pat Freiermuth. Just like that, we're all tied up. And then, because Brandon Staley of the Chargers is an aggressive coach, we know he likes to go for it on 4th down. They went for it on 4th down in a tie game inside their own territory. They did not get a great play by Joe Schobert, and sets up a field goal for the Steelers. Now, the issue was Najee Harris on the previous drive got knocked out for the time being. So I believe if they had Najee Harris, they would have been able to run out the clock, at least more time off the clock, set up a field goal. So they're ahead 37-34. And then blown coverage in the secondary, and Mike Williams gets a big touchdown, 41-37. Steelers could not fire back after that, and just a thriller to end Sunday Night Football, and not much to say. Justin Herbert shined. Defense, while crippled, stayed in it, and the offense did what it could. And then to end week 11, 30-10, Bucs get a much needed win after railing 2 straight losses. They win 30-10 over the Giants. It was 10-10. They're like, okay, the Giants. Big touchdown by Andrew Thomas, left tackle. Good for him. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. I had to work on something, but Yeah, back to the Bucs Giants. After a big touchdown to the big man, Andrew Thomas, offense couldn't really get going despite the return of Saquon Barkley. Rob Gronkowski, he was back. He had 6 catches for 71 yards, so good to see him back. I mean, I figure with Saquon, they would try to be more balanced, but they weren't. It just wasn't working well. And ultimately, it led to the firing of Jason Garrett, offense coordinator of the Giants. So he's out. Freddie Kitchens is now the OC of the Giants, our interim offense coordinator. So pretty much the last gasp, I would say, gasp for Daniel Jones. Hopefully, Freddie Kitchens can help muster out the offense, and because Daniel Jones in the offense, we'll see. As for Bucs, you know, much better and much good for them. 7-3, 2 games back of the Cardinals, but they're still not out of it for the number 1 seed. So, see how that goes. But that's week 11 for you of the NFL season. Some good, some bad, and some in the middle. But so good to see. Now, happy Thanksgiving, week 12 of the NFL season. So 6 weeks to go for the NFL season. Week 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 8. Wait. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So actually 7 weeks left. But still fun. Some more football to go of the regular season. So see how it goes. But 3 games on Thanksgiving we start for week 12. So to start Thanksgiving, we have the Bears, and the Lions. Bears 3.5-point favorites. Andy Dalton gonna start. Who knows who's gonna start at quarterback for the Lions? I expect Tim Boyle with the injury of Goff, but nonetheless, I like that they've been running the ball more again for the Lions. Because they have good running backs. They have Jamal Williams. They have DeAndre Swift. But against the Bears, they have good weapons on offense. Komet, Mooney, Allen Robinson, and they have speed on that offense. And the defense of the Lions, not great. It has tightened up the last couple weeks, but still it's not great. I'll take the Lions to barely cover, but I'm still going with the Bears to win 23-20 on Thanksgiving. So then we got 2 teams who lost big on Sunday. Raiders at the Cowboys. Cowboys 7-point favorites. Cowboys, I think, will likely be without both the receivers, so I think they'll look to run the ball more with Zeke and Pollard. And Michael Parsons has done really well. Made some plays on Sunday for the Chiefs. Raiders offense is more healthy. Now, no Henry Ruggs, but it's tough. Raiders, I think 7 points is a bit much. I think without CLM, without Amari Cooper, that's going to hurt them. And not sure about the stats, Tyron Smith, but nonetheless, I'm going with the more healthy team. And this is a must win for both. So I'm going with the Raiders to win a tight one, 23-21. Or wait. Cross it out. Need another pen. Aye. My pens are giving me trouble, sorry. I don't know why. It's not working either. I think this will be a tight game, but actually changed the score 24-20. So then, Bills and Saints. Again, two teams that are reeling. Bills 4.5-point favorites. Now, Saints were gashed on Sunday by the run game of the Eagles, surrendering 200 yards rushing. Bills need to be more balanced, and we saw first the Jets that they could do more on the ground. And, regardless of the tackles, you have no Alvin Kamara. It's Trevor Siemian. I expect them to use Taysom Hill more, but I think the Bills get a much needed win, so they get it 30-24. Next, a big game on Sunday. Big game. One of the many big games on Sunday. Buccaneers snapped their losing streak. First the Giants. go to Indianapolis, play the Colts. Now, Jonathan Taylor had a great game. The Bucs have one, arguably the best run defense in football. And with Gronk now being back, that adds another dimension to the offense. The Bucs. I think this will be a more high-scoring game, but I'm taking the Bucs 31-27. Close one, but and then we got the Jets versus the Texans. Now, Texans surprise victory over Titans. Texans 2.5-point favorites. Now, Texans had 5 turnovers versus the Titans and only scored 22 points. So a win's a win, but did not get a lot of points off those turnovers. Now, the Jets, we could potentially see Tyrod Taylor versus Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco facing his former backup for a few years in Baltimore. Now, both defenses are not great, so this could be a high-scoring game. Jets. Michael Carter suffered an injury, and Rex Burkhead is becoming a more vocal point of the offense for the Texans. I think they finally got the passing game starting to go for the Jets. So, congrats to them getting the win. But I gotta go with the Jets here, 28-24 in Houston. Then we got the Eagles going to the Meadowlands, play the Giants, their division foes. Eagles now 5-6 and could get back to 500 with a win over their division rival. Now, the run game soared versus the Saints. I don't think they'll have as big as a game versus the Giants. They have a good front when it comes to defense. But now with Freddie Kitchens being the OC instead of Jason Garrett, may give them a bit of a boost. If it happens, I'll have to see it, but I'm going with the Eagles to get this win, get back to 500, 26-22. In the Meadowlands. Next, we got Cam Newton and the Panthers going to Miami to play the Dolphins, who have won 3 straight. And Tua is looking better each week. Now, I originally wrote down 23-20 Miami. Tua's looking better. That defense starting to boil down. Both defenses are good. Now, the second straight week, or the third game starting, or yes, the second game starting for Cam Newton. I'm going with Miami to get the dub 23-20. So, yeah. Next, we got another big game. We got the Titans coming off their loss, going to New England to play the now 7-4 leading the East Patriots. Now, Titans, they looked off, and I think here they'll be more motivated per se, and a little pissed. First, the Patriots. So this could be an ugly game as it was in the playoffs a couple years ago. Patriots 5.5-point favorites. I think this will be close. I don't think the Patriots will stop them. 27-23. Titans cover, but Patriots win. Yep. Both are tied then at 8-4. So then we got another crucial game. Pittsburgh off that shootout for the Chargers on Sunday night. They go to Cincy to play the Bengals. You know, the Bengals snapped their losing streak. Again, the status of the defenders are up in the air. Bengals 3.5-point favorites. You know, after that big loss, now I do think the offense of the Steelers has found its rhythm. But I just think with the weapons on Cincy now, I'm going with Cincy win, although Pittsburgh to cover 28-26. Cincy over Pittsburgh. Then we got Falcons going to Jacksonville. I like Trevor Lawrence, but I mean, after laying an egg against Cowboys, now I'm going with the Falcons to win this 20-17 over the Jags. Then we got another crucial game in division matchup. Chargers going to Denver. Chargers 3-point favorites. Chargers got that big win against Pittsburgh. Now 6-4. If they win this, they're in first place of the division. Against the Broncos, though, who have played tough. And I just think this is Chargers' chance. And with that momentum, the offense, it kind of evolved in against Pittsburgh on Sunday night, using Eckler more, and that's why I like them to be more balanced. So I'm gonna go with Chargers to win this 30-23 in Denver. Another great game to feature the Rams go to Green Bay to play the Packers. Packers 1-point favorites at home. So that would mean on neutral field, Rams are favored. Now, Rams got embarrassed on Monday night last week. So now off their bye, I think they'll be better. They'll be more focused. But in Green Bay, I'm going with the Packers to win 33-29. They get the sub. And with the Cardinals winning, I think it's more crucial for the Packers to win. So, yeah. Then, like I mentioned earlier, crucial game. Vikings, 49ers, 5-5 versus 5-5. 49ers, 3-point favorites at home. Just want to double check my underdogs really quick, because I like to have a good number, not an extreme number of underdogs. So, look, with the Vikings, you never know. They could win, they could lose. I mean, I don't really trust them. And with the 49ers, with the run game, with being physical, this will be a high scoring game, as it always is with the Vikings. So I'm going with 33-30. Wait, it's right on the line. So 31-29. 31-29. 49ers win. Then we got an intriguing game on Sunday Night Football. An asterisk for it because the status of Lamar Jackson. But assuming he plays, Baker, I expect him to score points, but he's just not healthy right now. So I'm going with Baltimore to win currently 26-17 against Cleveland. And then to cap off Week 12, on Monday Night Football, we got Washington going hosting Seattle. 1-point favorites are Washington. It's just hard to pick Seattle right now. So I think this will be close game though. A little bit of low scoring. But I'm going Washington to win 22-20. Alright, so those are my picks for currently for week 12, but nonetheless, that's the end of the episode, guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. I did too. Again, I am Ajoe21love. If you want to subscribe or like this video, please do. Will help out the channel, but nonetheless, thank you for joining me. Happy Thanksgiving, all. Hope you all have good Thanksgiving. I'll be back later this week for my reviews, pro wrestling, but I'll be back next week with sports overview topics, episode number 76. So, thank you. Be safe. Peace.